Hi everyone in the fasting lane. I just wanted to show you how you're going to use a finger prick method to test your blood glucose and your blood ketone levels. Now you will be working with this item here. It's the LifeSmart ketone and blood glucose monitor. Now it isn't Bluetooth to your phone, but you can get one that's Bluetooth to your phone. It's just that these guys are only like, easy to work with and they don't cost so much. So we will first go into the ketones. So essentially when you get your box of your monitor itself, it doesn't come with strips. Essentially you need to buy them separately, and so your glucose usually comes in a box of 100. Your ketones come in a box of 10, and the reason why is that these are really essentially set up for diabetics, and they tend to be testing their glucose more often than their ketones. But with fasting, we test both and fairly frequently. So another one of the reasons why maybe considering a continuous glucose monitor or a continuous ketone monitor or both could be a good idea if you want to sort of keep monitoring things further into your fasting protocol. So essentially what will happen is when you open up the big box, you'll get a little monitor that looks like this. And when you pop one of the strips into the monitor, it will start to read. But with your ketones, you do need to prime the monitor by inserting this before you do anything else. You need to insert their little key. It's kind of like a calibration key. You pop it into the top slip there, and it will turn on and automatically tell you what code is on there. If that code on the screen is the same code as here, you know it's calibrated and it's ready to go. Now essentially what I do is I measure my glucose first before I measure my ketones, and the reason for that is that the ketones can read some of the serum ketone. So your very first blood prick, when you puncture your skin gently, tends to have a little bit of serum in it as well. So it could give a false ketone reading. So I tend to, in the same prick, if I've done a really good finger prick, is I'll do a glucose reading first and then I'll do the ketone reading straight after. So I'll pull the strip out and I'll put it in. I'll pull the glucose strip out as soon as I've done the reading. I've got the numbers, and I'll put the ketone strip in, squeeze a little bit more blood out, and off we go again. So you can do both readings with the same prick of the finger if you are getting enough blood coming through and you're able to work swiftly. If not, you'll just need to do a second finger prick. And I tend to, just myself, I tend to not change the little needle over. I'll show you how to do that in a second as well. When I'm doing that between those two finger pricks, otherwise you're going through a lot of equipment. So essentially when you're working with these finger prick guns, do a little bit of an alcohol swab on the area that you're going to prick. I always have a tissue ready to go. I've actually just done a finger prick. I'm happy to do another one if you want me to do that. But essentially with these ones, you are twisting the top off to get the area that you put your needle in. So essentially these are your little needles. It's got a little top on it. You twist that top off and simply place it into the area. Now I often will just put it in first and then I twist it off. So that's usually a bit safer. And then you discard that little round knob on the top, place your lid back on, just twists on, and then secure it like that. When you're ready to load it, pull the gun from there, and then as you are, and if you want to, you can alter the depth of how far you go. So if I want to get a little bit more blood out, I might go to these deeper depths. Okay. So when you pull that out and you're ready to go, pick your finger and press this button and it'll go very quick. I'll do another one. That's it. And then You get a little blood flow coming through. Hope you're not squeamish in the tummy. Didn't even feel a thing. So easy to work with. This is why you need a finger prick, a tissue. I've just gone for a walk, so my glucose might be up a wee bit because my body's utilizing some of that. So I'm going to do a glucose monitor reading for you quickly. I've got this. Now, normally I would get this actually set up before I do the finger prick, but essentially what you're doing is you're placing this strip in with that little stripe heading out away, so that you're looking like that. And essentially you're waiting for this to reach or to read the word GLU or glucose or ketone if you're doing the ketone, and the little flashing blood drop there tells you it's ready to go. And essentially I'm just feeding this blood sample. Now it's probably not going to read too well. Oh, it did. It read it all right. Now my glucose is up a little bit because I have done a walk, but a minute ago it was 5.8. So it's actually on its way back down again. So you'll find that when you exercise, it's not a great time to be testing your glucose unless you're interested to see what your body's doing with it, because your system's going to be mobilizing glucose because your muscles are contracting. And that's actually a good sign, because that also tells us that your glucose is being mobilized from storage. And also that your muscles are utilizing what you're burning. I'm 21 hours into a 24-hour fast at the moment. So that's one of the other reasons why that might be mobilizing as well. So that is how you use the LifeSmart glucose and ketone monitors. Make sure you write down your tracking, and ensure that as you're tracking these, that and throughout our program, that you're sending over or uploading, and ideally that would be the best way to go, so that I can see them, we can all see them. But if you don't feel comfortable uploading those, you could just send them over to me. However, there's safety in numbers, and there's also power in numbers. So if we're all getting to see what's happening, we can talk about those habits and the things that might be contributing to an elevation or contributing to a decrease in ketones and glucose. So it can be a really good educational tool for everyone in the group. So I'm encouraging you to upload those on the daily. Just take a quick photo and upload them into the Facebook group, The Fasting Lane, which is the private group that you're finding this video in. If you are seeing this video and you're not in the Fasting Lane group, it's because I have uploaded that to YouTube, and that is an invitation for you to perhaps reach out for some fasting coaching as well. I look forward to seeing you in the Fasting Lane. And if you've got any other questions around how to use a manual, I call this a manual finger prick testing unit for your glucose and ketones, please do reach out. If you are going to be using a CGM or a CKM, a continuous glucose or a continuous ketone monitor, these sit on your arm, got one on each, and they last for about 2 weeks. Reach out and I can help you with grabbing one of those. They are not cheap. They cost about $102 each, but that is a 2-week testing period that you've got them on for. So you could go ahead and test a whole heap of foods and beverages and get to understand what your body's doing first thing in the morning after you wake, and also after you've had certain beverages and foods, particularly foods and beverages like coffee, fruit, cacao, tea. And if you're really game, you want to test your alcohol, you could certainly do that, but I can guarantee you it's going to mess with your glucose and your ketones. So here we are on the Fasting Lane. I look forward to helping you out. It's Nicky here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in our fasting group program. See you soon.